Good morning, folks. It's 7:58 a.m. on the 11th day, 4th month, 2024. Quick check to see if this is running. Running like a gump. What I'm looking at here is some very volatile storms that have been popping up in the nucleation range of the Grafton radar. And we can see a lot of it on the cloud imagery that I'll be showing you. And look how quick these tendrils are jumping. This is very, very volatile. And it also uses the passes in the mountains as some of the features that we now have to take into consideration, and how the flows down this river valley is going to feed the storms. You see how these are just piping to each other, boom, boom. It's making conditions extremely volatile. And so we got to watch out today. And that looks like kind of where the radar is located over here. You're almost looking. There's definitely a radar ring there that stays sustained in the center of this big square farm here. Yeah, with lots of flow boundary here where there's radar is 6 inches hard, so it's not getting a return, right, that we normally see. And so as we go here over, oh gosh, what that is amplitude. As we go over here and have a look at Guilty Grafton, and so it may go a little garbly when I move in, and you're not even seeing the clouds and the storms that are picked up by the radar here, are you? Not even showing. You know, what's up with that? So I'm going to turn off the town names so he's a little less distracting. All they're showing is the EMF off the coast here. They're not even showing you the storms that it's showing me. And it's the current radar as of 5 minutes ago, right? This is an hour ago, 5 minutes ago. I don't think we're getting very accurate imagery. If I go to the satellite, there's definitely clouds of cloud cover over here that's not showing up. Right? They're showing up this big mass out to sea out here. But they ain't showing that, are they? So I do feel that the imagery here is having its data altered in such a way that the clarity is not very clear to us about exactly what's going on through here. Because you're not seeing the cloud masses, all you're seeing is that. If I go to the visible, you'll see stuff. But the infrared should be showing more than it is. So they've got because I've pointed out the chem bombs over you so often, I've been watching them turn down the sensitivity of things so that you almost don't even see it anymore. Because if you see it, you're going to go, oh my God, stop trying to control the weather. You know, who the hell are you to say I should have a rainy day? You know, and they're deciding the rainy days, and it needs to cease. Even having the power of man to play God needs to be litigated against. It has to be. And if we don't, we're going to have people play God legally. Look at this beam line here. See how everything just kind of just stops and goes up and up? If you go through the tropics, you're going to find a line of disturbance, and I'm following it. Right through here. Watch. And what are they manipulating with that as well? This one here. Right? So I'm watching this flow because I picked up on it here. And you can just see it off the coast. I got a good screenshot of it there that I'll show you. What I could do to zoom a bit more on. Yeah, I'll show you that in a minute when I cover that. Because you've had this big blast come up the coast right through here. See this little tickle here off the coast? Yeah, straight up through this line. Line that up with those clouds I showed you. You'll see how they're manipulating this storm. You have another V has come through here, right? As they got this one held in a beam that's from here to here and from here to here. And they're sweeping it, you'll see. This is sweeping from here towards that way. And so both of these will be doing that. The two cloud masses being manipulated out here. This one here is grabbed. They have it from behind. And that radar station there is full on, but the feed is turned off, okay, so you're not allowed to see it's doing that move. But what it did is some of it onshore beamed, like from here to here, and some of them there's a ship, and I'll show you that now. So here's the list. Let us start from the beginning, so you could see this is Olga, as it's now before it became the tropical depression it's back to being. So when it was over here, and this is 48 hours of motion, she came in and then she gets grabbed again. Watch, boom, tickled over. Watch how straight that was. It just walked it right over the top of this island here. Then they hit it again, and it was just starting to hit it again. It was from this side when it moves, watch. When the dynamic comes through and it gets over toward the island, now we're whipping. Whip, 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 whip. Whip, 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 whip. Around it goes. It's like pushing a swing or putting your hands on a table and taking them off another part of a table when a bunch of people do it. You can make a table turn. And we got to turn the tables on them. And see, is it leaving enough to you yet? That they got onshore radars here and they got in-the-air radars working together. That must be a back door into the computers that is allowing this. I would hate to think that, well, I don't think there's anybody with their heads on a switch. So I'm going to turn that off. So I can see this is being manipulated. Some of its moisture is coming inland a bit. It's going out to sea. It's in a V here. This is prepared to pet. It's come through here as a V, which is showing up a little better on the regular mimic, which I'll go back to now. And I'm going to run this. These are full length. So it's like if you wipe a radar sweep like this, you can create it like drafting a truck. You know, when you get to around the back of a truck, it kind of gives a little bit of a suction. Where there's suction in this bastard now. Right as they get around this, around Exmouth itself, and it was their radar of that did it. And the next rad, as I done my determinants, there's a big device cut on here, didn't it? Part of your JORN network has fired. Exmouth is busy out here, creating a corridor. Big beam out here. Earthquake risk through here, and Poppy is extremely high. Right around in here, because the echo of the mantle vibrating and reverberating. See how these are opposite wave? Because the movement of this in a V has the moisture has moved that direction, and the moisture here has moved that direction, even though the beams are sweeping from east to west. And these are big beams. New Zealand, there's a lot of water coming your way, that tendril. A lot of it's not nucleating into the heavier bands yet, but when they collided together on the shore, she's coming. And the wind's diving down into here are bed. It's a bit of a square holding off some of it here. And you can see the sheets here holding it off. I'm going to do is zoom it up as high as I can get it. Yeah, now 300 sufficient. I think still get some clarity. Poof. Did you see that blast there come across? Poof. Watch. Bzzzt. Right there. Let's see if we can get a shot of it. Right there. That's Blenheim. Blenheim has fired right here. That's the guilty person of that beam. Would be the Blenheim Spy Station's HARP device. Has fired all the way over the equator as it's designed to do. To laze missiles is what it's designed to do. But when it's not busy doing that, boy, is it moving the river of moisture, and it's causing the demise, because when this runs into that, it's going to collide the condensates. It's going to fall. It's all being directed straight down this line. And who's that pointing at? Nelson. Nelson, you are fucked. Screenshot that if you want it. Actually, I think I will. That's good. That's evidence right here. This is evidence. Evidently, they're owning the weather. And Blenheim is extremely guilty at that timestamp I just showed you. Right there. 10, bits and bytes, bits and bytes, bits and bytes. 101000. 424. There's a very numerological minute when that fire big, isn't it? Ooh. In the year 2024, they fry this more and more. People consumed and obeyed some more. Some more. Boy, did you get fried along here? Look at all that. Even the geese are going in. Those are actually geese. I had a look earlier. Hey, somebody dropped their wheat checks on this guy here, and they've all got swelled up there. Or is that EMF interference pattern with chem bombs in it? Absolutely, because I went and I had a look. But I think what I want to do now is show New Zealand, because this is bad. So I'm going to go to a different graph. Wow, that's bright. Let's go to the infrared. Right. You got sheets of crap coming in already. Right. right? It's going to get a lot worse as this comes in here like an anvil and smashes this. The pressure right in front of it's going to collide the condensates. It's going to get bad. It's going to hem up against the ranges, and the totals will begin to get high as it runs into what the beam that Blenheim. Yeah, the bastards of Blenheim beamed again. Harp the devilish angel played, boom, 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 pluming over you. Accumulations to be expected are very, very bad over the next 3 days. Pressure. Ziff? Yeah, this is bad. Yeah, it's too low. That's about right. I was thinking about 20 centimeters through there, and about a quarter of a meter through some of the passes in here. This is inaccurate. So just listen to what I got to say. Right around here. I'm just using this as a graph. If I see one that's accurate. That seems about right. Because they got to have a flow split between the two, and a Venturi effect between this island will cause a little bit of a curve. So this is about accurate with a third of a meter hitting around here. And a quarter of a meter should be about right to hit these mountains here and go in through these passes. So these rivers that run towards you from here to the sea are not going to be a good place to be camping out. You guys got big problems. Richmond will probably see a little bit less than Nelson because of this flow that's going to occur. And the rivers where they run are going to determine where they flood. And you guys will now get in your arcs where you are now aware that there's a problem. You are ready because you're always ready. And now your knowledge will come. And what is local services saying to do? Do not be risking the lives of safety workers over this next 3-day period that you're about to go through. All right? It's just another storm. You've been through worse. And look at this cell there. They're talking over Wellington. So some of the one tendrils that they're bringing in when they split it, if it hung out for 3 hours, that's every 20 minutes dropping a centimeter on you. You know, that's big flows. And look at all the air dynamics out here of all the mixing of these warm and cold pockets that are coming down from the tropics into you is going to cause some terrible totals across New Zealand. So let's let you go. I'm just going to let this run. Who did I decide to use? You be a good graphic first to look at while I sip my coffee. And I'm going to show you something else. I want to show you how to read the particles on the map. It's a feature of windy that I've noticed just appearing down here. Look at the smacker. Boy, that's a tundra. I'm going to stop this. I want to see what they're saying is in this. All right. Come on, give me the graph. All right, that's 1, 2. Six hours of about 1.5 centimeters an hour. God, you guys are fucked. That's a day of that shit. Each one of these jumps is an hour. They're saying that's how much is in the tundra. And we'll have to watch the cam. Yeah, this is more, you see, this one actually shows lightning potential. The other ones don't. Oh, man. See what I mean? This is a terrible event. You don't want to be walking around Mary Poppins and that shit with a lightning rod in your head. It's very devilish horns here. Like I said, this is a very devilish looking storm. Look. Whoa. The devil went down to New Zealand. He was looking for some homes to steal. He had some chem bombs and had plenty of time, and he didn't care to make a deal. He came across some idiot chewing on the agenda and chewing it hot. So the devil told him to put a mask on and be a fucking twat. Boom, 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 and boom, 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 and boom, and boom, 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 and boom, and boom, 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 and boom, and boom, 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 plum, 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 plum. Here it comes. Boom, 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 plum. Look at this grip. All right, here we go. It's coming your way. Tendril caught 1, 2. That'll collide 3. All right, small tendrils. 1, 2. It's been created there. Got to have boundary flows in between these to feed the storms inside of them. And Molecular excitation is a great way to do that, or atmospheric perturbation through EMF, perturbation of the atmosphere, or making waveforms. That bump and move things around. It perturbs them. I'm getting perturbed. I'm offended. Where's our fucking safe room? The safe room should have no chemtrails in it, and I want the world to become the safest room of all. Where we have room to breathe, where we realize there's plenty of room for everybody to live. Instead of this Planet of the Ape looking Sasquatch over here with the nose in the nest, I go, ooh, the boogeyman comes to town. And we're not talking Jimmy Valiant with Big Bad Mama the 2x4, but sometimes I wonder if that would work. Ooh. Look at the squares, bumping the squares, bumping the squares. How do they move masses of air through straight lines, man? Look at these crash knuckles in the sky. Hey, hey, hey. Or as it says the word arc on it. Get in your arcs. Arc the bill dill fucking play. Boom, 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 ploob. Ploob in you. If Bill Gates is funding it, you don't think that's going to be fairy dust or vitamins you're spraying on your ass? No. It's done, and it blocks you from producing natural vitamins through your skin and your very sensory organs. Light is so beautifully keeping maintained. But no, we have to look at everything in a pasteurized way, and everything goes past people's eyes as they pasteurize the truth. And we have an EMF meeting here and coming here. You've got a ship over here or something. I'm doing my determining, you know. And I'm going to give you another factor to think about. You want to see the particles and all that? They usually feed the storms. Because this is bad. This is really a bad day. And this is coming very quickly, very soon. You're actually already underway. But the big slam, you're looking at about about 6-7 hours. Because it's moving on the upper level at about 100 miles an hour. If I go over here and look at the particles, there's a lot of particles out there in the sky now. What this means is that micrograms is a metric system. Micrograms are a unit of mass that equals 1/1,000,000th of a gram. All right, so 1/1,000,000th of a gram per meter squared, right, is what this is going to show on this graph. So how many 27 millionths of a gram per meter square of magnetic or whatever particulates are making this up? This here. So we can often use this to predict when they're going to blow up a storm. Like I see out here, I got a bunch of particles sprayed in the air. Now that's either naturally occurring dust or they've had a deployment. So I can then go up here and look over here and see what's going on, you know, and then have here you go do a determining. But you got to remember, when they're hiding data, you're going to have to find ways to see things when they're blocking out this, you know, and saying they're doing such a good job. That's why a big screen often helps. And you don't see anything here, nothing obvious, no big clouds or nothing. But I see plume formations here. Hang on. And that's the land. So you can't see much there. So it's telling you that something is there, right? So you can't see it. So that's microparticulates. That's not just a little bit. So storms will very often pop up in these spots where you see these sprayed. Right, that's a very heavy amount of particulates down there near Sedona. That's very heavy. And then we go over and we look. What's there? What's in Sedona? These big chemtrails have been sprayed. Let's make sure we're looking on the right place. Boy, look at the primes going up. Boom, boom, boom! Went the plumes in away. Went their sunny day. Sorry about that, Eddie. I hope your bowl is okay. Look at all the chem going across you in Oak Valley. All this crap's out to here to see. That's what's picking up, is all this chem. Right? So you in a way, but to prove it's chem, you'll need an actual sample of the air. And so we don't go full retard. I could just say, look at how many micrograms per million particles per meter square. The particles of everything they measure, how many of it's that? Isn't that interesting for you guys? You have to take this into account. So you're going to have to start looking at this particular part. And you're going to have to start keeping an eye on winds on different levels to see which screen you're going to agree with. Because I'm not bringing my computer to Fiji. So there ain't going to be no no good morning, folks, when I'm out of town. Yep, I'm traveling. It's dangerous, and I just have to do what I gotta do. I ain't trying to kill myself. Well, I will try to keep myself safe. Look at all the particles off the coast here. Look at all the particles there. Look at all the chem. Is there chem there? Yes. Are they in bomb formations? Yes. So, can we correlate dead plumes with these deployments? Absolutely. 100% we can correlate it. We can have this needs investigating. This needs investigating. Why is there pollution out there when there's no factory pumping it off? Because you've been sprayed like bugs. That's why. Just face it. You got it wrong if you didn't believe in it, but it's okay. There's a lot of stuff we don't believe is that can kill us anyhow. It goes on all the time. Hey, so let's just finish up what's going on here. Is the sphincter sucks a bunch of chem right up its old wazoo and spits it out over the colon of Auckland. Because if it's the sphincter, guess what you are? Laugh it up, colonators. Colon town. I know that place need a colon cleanse. So let's zoom back. Let you guys see the fuckery. So we were over here about 10 o'clock when the whammos are going on there. So that's tonight. Let's say, so 3 hours from now will be, yeah, have a good dinner time. Cook your dinner early in case the power goes out. Make sure you got sandwiches made or whatever. Put it in an esky, do what you gotta do, or cold salad it is. Make yourself a nice stew, heat up the house. Hey, if you're going to heat the house, have some good smells going with it. Aromatics are good for us. You see it happening? You see the volatility? The winds are fucking going to be horrendous. The winds for the next 36 hours are definitely going to be a part of the problem. These winds here are actually a little off. Let me go to a different model. Right there. Because your winds are starting sooner. Right at dinner time. That's about right. It's roaring, man. It's 42 miles an hour. It's 10 miles. It's 11 miles an hour short of a tropical storm, right? So it'll be considered a tropical depression. I don't know if it's even listed yet. So let's have a quick live look. So here's a good way to keep an eye on a tropic, and there's many weather links that you should learn to use that are located on there. So I hope that helps explain how to use that particular feature of Windy, and I'll show you another feature that's going to be important as they changed how Windy presents its information. This is the tropical cyclone page, and here it'll show everything that's going on, and we have been listed Tropical Storm 22. Now, we might not have mimic data on this yet, so bear with whatever happens to the signal while I attempt to gather this data live. So you're going to get to see this actually loading. Come on, baby, do it, do it, do it. Okay, it hasn't been in existence long enough to have that data. Maybe the 24-hour will do it. Okay, that invest area is now a storm. I've been waiting for that to occur. Let me try again and see if they have the 24. No, it won't go available product till tomorrow sometime. So we'll be watching this. So let's see what they're saying. Intensities. I don't see how it could come in, to be honest, with the way they're manipulating that storm and the pressure lines here. That's a weird path to pick. So this bear's watching. I'm happy to see that's going west because that would have been a fuck up. Now let's see what kind of intensities we have. Might be able to get an image of it as well. All right, there's no availability of that data. 36 knots, 33 knots. Yeah, it's just as that. Let's see what she's looking like. Let's turn, something's got to go off. Labels, information. I don't like to have the forecast path put on, to be honest. All right, that should do. Let's have a look at her there, shall we? Let's have a really good look, because this is about the best data out there. Well, it's Doxley. It's enough south I can have a better look at it over here. Okay, so we know we have one. 36 knots, and she's up here. And that's it right there. So let's roll this. double check that I'm still rolling live. Yes, we're rolling. Now, it's not looking good, Bess, for the West Coast. It's not looking good for Whakatawny either, that whole bay. And I'll go into that a little further, because I'll make this show as long as it needs to be. And if you care, you share. If you don't, you don't. All I can do is tell you what I'm seeing. So we have a square here, another square cocked on a corner here. Remember, squares turn square and nudge squares. So you got to watch where they meet to be able to predict the circulations. We know there was a big beam came up like this, and it's sweeping that direction. And then the general flow they're showing is coming that direction, because we picked that up here on Mimic TPW right here as they formed and made this storm with the secondary beam behind it, and the manipulation of that came all the way down coast here, and it showed up in the sat viewer here, manipulating and making what's going to become a cyclone that will worry this area here. And I'll have to watch. It's too early so far to look at this corridor. She's going to come in and over here just to see the initial, where the first boat goes through the water makes it easier for the second, and if another boat goes through, well, the EMF's the boat, and they've got a few of them that's gone through, and the general path of wanting seems to be fed through here, actually, in there, in this square. And all they got to do is keep energizing the inside of this and pulsing it that direction, and she'll go. Look at how the angularness of this as during this initial deployment here, as they're making of and birthing of a depression. And for too many people, it's happening. Squares and squares. Don't be a square. Geoengineering's real, and they're selling it to you. Yeah, they're selling you our tinfoil hats because we're done with them. What a bunch of schmeckles. Look at the EMF over here on the outside, the particulates, reacting to the electromagnetic potentials and workings of the dynamics of making this storm. It's going to take 2 ships to do that. Do they have hurricane hunters flying around with big radars? Is it perhaps they're also doing experiments? Could it be possible they're like some 1960s experiments on hurricanes dropping very frozen particles into it that they only admit to later on? Could that possibly be going on? Is it possible you're being lied to? Is it possible taxation is theft? Is it possible you just can't accept the evil that it's going on as being a fact? Well, I could understand that. If you're going to be Euclids, at least do the math. Look at this over Oak Valley here, these streamers, boom, boom, booming, and pluming and pluming and pluming. On the latest image from 7:50 this morning, which is about a half hour ago. Not quite. As I go over here to the town, it caught my attention the most today. Ample to twat ya. And boy, are you guys getting twatted. Twatted left and right. Boy, the fryer's on here, and here. And I've seen them as well to help aim the storms. But let's go back through the winds that you're going to be expecting to see. I'll turn that off right now. Learn your colors. There's down here is miles an hour, by the way. I'm not doing this in kilometers. This is miles an hour. So know that. That's the unit I'm choosing to use. So if somebody gets your forecast wrong and gets all butthurt because they don't understand that I look at a lot of factors, including all those particles, Mimic tells it all. Ooh, the backside burner, man. Oh, that's not a good moment there. Whenever the low comes over, it's going to cause a backflow. That's when your building that's been leaning one way begins to blow the other. There's a bit of a backflow right up the nostrils of the Kiwi over here. Boys, I'm going to cause a bit of a tide back up over into here, Collinwood. So be careful if you got boats along it here. It might not be the best place to have him. Take him over here. Watch your walkers, man. There'll be some spots in Penzance Bay. There always is. Place in Penzance for the Pissants. Penzance Pitches, how we love you. Bill Gates bought land at your house. You don't think he wants more. He wants you gone. Boom, 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 boom. He talks about depopulation, and then he gives you a product that evidently looks like it's depopulating this. That dude needs to be tried in an honest investigation where money doesn't determine the justice. Justice, they might be blind, but they can count money in his sleep. Napier gets the breeze. Oh, the breeze is over the place. That might be able to not dry you out of it. Have some mold. Have it now. Have your winter. Have it now. Use your firewood up too early. Can we wet it down? We should put some chemicals on it for you. Have it. Do you want to have it? You didn't ask for it. See, that's your wind total tails. It's not really going to be over till about here. This is when the fucking F occurs. And it just fucks right on there. And the high takes over and feeds it. Look at this down here. You ate all the way out yet. But will he go into that today? No, I will not. So let's go back into the rain and thunders and rumbles. Let's put you on at about whammo time again. Whammo time, which is at about 6 o'clock today. Dinner time in New Zealand. There you go. This is 7 o'clock tonight, your time. Here's the Whamos are going over. The lightning show will be happening. Let's just switch the graphic now, just so you can see the lightning. Yeah, New Plymouth rocked. Well, Fangaree rocked. New Plymouth, yeah, you definitely getting that treatment. Come on, would you go and rotate here? I want you to mow the line so I can be done with this sometime today. Can be bombos. Swelling streamos and the lightning echoing through the mountain will help collide the condensates that will fall. Boom, 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 plumes. Boom, boom, boom. The smasheroos, it's in the Westland radar. It's just pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping. And eventually a low will form over here because of the flows of the winds, and that'll just go right over the top. Yeah, without much fanfare either. Oh, look at the lightning show of a neighborhood, the way it goes over there. Bye-bye, Arks Bay, bye-bye. But wait a minute, it ain't over yet. Nah, it's the middle of the night. And they bombed you in your sleep. In the middle of the night, silent death, it creeps. Nanoparticles in your head, and they go when you're out of detox. Are you emitting a signal like a Wi-Fi? Cause you took the money, pock shot. Yeah. Bluetooth motherfuckers. Blue bloods, blue teeth. Better get tested for AIDS if you had the jab. I'm telling you something. Better test for it's too late. Then go see a naturopath. Pasteurize that thinking from your head. We want full cream. We want full milk. We want it. We want the breast milk in the children, and we leave that placenta on a little longer. That would be great. You got an immune system. Challenge it. Look at the tendril. It's center crest. The beaming Nazis have done that. Tendril after tendril after tendrils of obscene-looking mustaches ready to Hitlerize the world. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tendrils. Count them now. They're going right up this wazoo here. Or Pappy. They're not happy, Pappy. Let's glock into the spiel. Oh, no, that's from Flintstone, the Glockenspiel song. Oh, man, look at this coming right across the tropics here, going belt down into the Siam area here, where as they bring in the monsoon rains over the top of you. That you'll be told, well, they always happen. Yeah, and then the dry spell across the Punjab area I expect to continue as the harvest time of the wheat, which is so important there, my friend. Looks like you got some few thunderstorms in there popping out. Like I said, about 4 days. You're down to about 4 days. Right as we're looking in this area here, the Punjab area. I've been watching because it's wheat harvest time, and there's people's livelihoods depend on this. So, you see a few showers popping up. Like I said, you had 5 days, and you're down to 4. Get the job done. Save your wheat. Save your crops. When they're trying to destroy crops because people own wheat futures, which means they're betting on the future that something's going to go bad by then, so they make money off it, and you control the weather, you can make that happen. Yeah. There's a lot of we didn't do that. Well, we never did this. No, that didn't happen. I don't know. Who did that? I don't know. Who's doing it? Bunch of fucking idiots. Yeah. as they continue to own this storm and belt it down. New Zealand is getting an absolute clobber. My heart goes out to you. Now let's have a little look at Straya here, because you've got a bit of action coming along the coastline here is on the weekends. And we might be a little bit shaggy. And we all have a meetup down at the middle pub over down there in Mullumbimby, Sienna 17th. Give me a 5 or 6 minutes to have a shower, be nice. And then we'll have some fun. I believe there's an open mic night. And you can hear such great hits. Can me, demi, bomb, 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 say love you so we're screwed. We can do 5-part harmony and really raise our vibe as a tribe. If you want to have a tribe. Because tribe sounds like it has government. Can we just be free to be our onenesses? Because we all have a different oneness. And maybe it's just something, a task. We all have to fix something. And we're each going to fix what we need to. And so try to stop unfixing what other people are trying to fix. Because I'll tell you fucking what. You don't want me doing that. There's the last thing you want. See how they keep pepping up them storms down there between Lismore and down by Crufts? And you got an outflow boundary here from the radar kicks in. And that kept some soggies going, which is going to bring the totals up a little bit more. Let's see if we could find them again. I got to get used to the I wish I could move that up higher. So your 3-day totals are still they're still common. Nothing's drying out yet. But then we're showing an event coming on the 10s. And so I have to keep a big eye on that. And I know that we're having some action around when I'm flying out to Fiji. So I'm watching very closely, as I'm going to have a bit of a wet day in the park. Because I'm coming, Lismore. I'm going to have an afternoon greet up there. We'll have a little, what you call it, picnic if you want. I prefer to. You guys say you're my family. Some people are reluctant. I don't want to call it a picnic. What's wrong with you? Okay, you don't want to be part of my family? Don't show up. That's how that goes. Tribe, hell, I don't need family, man. I'm alone as it gets. So are many of you. We've been closer to our friends than our family have been to us, who only call us when they need some help moving something, or can you, did you have the recipe to blah blah. So always say you do it, leave something out. Increase the salt. Mine don't taste as good as yours. I don't know, maybe you have bad water. Hey, Lismore, man, she's still pumping a lot of stuff here, so you're going to have some volatile days here along the Ballon roads here, so it's going to be wet. I'm going to go over a little bit of this. Just look at the pop-ups. It's just pop-ups. These ain't huge. They're not huge belters. They're not hanging out for that long over your house where you're going to get a lot. But you're going to get some. Nothing's drying out. Everything's going moldy. Slime mold's growing all in the rocks as we head toward when I'm going to be there. They have a big batch coming through. Be a lightning show over there for melaning. What the hell do you say? How do you say that one? Mallingani. Mauling the fanny. I over here a Malin Fanny. Yeah. And all the fannies over here. Lang. Yeah. All Ling Fanny. All right, everybody Ling Fanny over here. Don't you be laughing over here, Mama Gums. Over there took your teeth out. What's going on with that? Yeah, we're mauling the Fangy and taking our teeth out for Fajita Phalange over there. Who's going to sing Smelly Air, Smelly Air? Why are they chemming you? Smelly air, smelly air. It's definitely all our faults. Complacency kills. Know it. If you sitting on the fence too long, boy, are you an easy shot for the shoe in the middle of the night when you finally just start singing at the moon. At night, all the chem bombs are not soothing, and my eyeballs are burning. Where the fuck are the stars? As they chem dust, all my memories of the sky are now gone. No, they're not. Remember always the deep blue skies. Remember always the sweet smelling and tasting streams. Remember always not the lies, not the world they try to disguise. Remember always who you are, and you will never go away from yourself very far. Remember now that they're owning our air, they're owning our sky, they're owning you here and there. And as they try to bring a big island down, they're going to find out that the spirit is big when they come to town. It's time to do the real haka over to Kaka, or Captain Cook is cooking you again. Captain Cook has a microwave weapon. Captain Cook is frying you a different way. And Blenheim is guilty. Big love. Stay safe. Don't risk health workers' lives and emergency workers. Stick it out. You got this. Nulla. Peace.